French women don't get fat. Why is it that French women don't get fat? If you want to find out, stick around and watch this video where I will break it all down for you and even share with you some of our secrets. Since I started my channel about 2 months ago, where I focus a lot on food and health and how to stay young and looking fresh for women over 40, I have gotten so many comments on the fact that for me, it should be easy because I'm French and I'm automatically thin. It's in my DNA. This got me to thinking about why is it that people have this perception of French women and if it's even true or not. We're going to break this video into 2 segments. Why are French women so thin if the food in France is so incredible and decadent? In this video, I'm only giving my opinion, but I feel like it's a subject that I can talk about because 1, I'm French, my entire family is French and obeys, if you will, to the French culture and its rules. And 2, I have a lot of French friends who share their lives with me, and this is a subject that we very frequently talk about. For those of you who don't know me, hi, my name is Vanessa. I am a 46-year-old mom of 3 boys. I've been living in the south of Morocco for the past 20 years, and I'm very passionate about food and health in general, and try to be as healthy as I can be, so that I can maintain a certain physique and stay looking fresh and young. I like to do that by eating a whole food, plant-based, high-carb, low-fat diet. But let me tell you, I am far from being perfect. So let's get back to the subject. First of all, if some of you have been watching the very popular show on Netflix called Emily in Paris, you might think that French women are so thin because they spend their days smoking cigarettes and would rather have one than to have an actual meal. This could not be further from the truth, but we'll get back to smoking later on in this video. If we take the latest statistics on women in Europe, are French women even in the top 10 list of the thinnest women in Europe? Now, when I say thinnest, I do not mean skinniest due to malnutrition caused by poverty. I mean thinnest based on their body mass index due to their lifestyle. So where do French women fall into this top 10 list? Well, we actually fall into 2nd place, behind the Danish women who are 1st, and right before the Romanian women who come in at 3rd place. So let's talk about the French diet. In France, we consume a lot of fresh produce, such as fruits and vegetables. For the past few years, there's been this huge government campaign that tells us that we should consume at least 5 fruits and vegetables per day. It says, il faut manger 5 fruits et légumes par jour. The French eat their vegetables raw or cooked, and more nowadays in smoothie form. In France, we eat a lot of salads during the summer and a lot of soups during the winter time. There's this French saying that says, pour bien grandir, il faut que tu manges ta soupe. It means if you want to grow well, you need to eat your soup. A traditional evening meal in wintertime is a large bowl of soup with a piece of baguette and a small piece of cheese. And in the summer, we'll have a large salad with nice cheese and a piece of baguette. French meals are mostly cooked at home. Preparing the food is part of the pleasure experience. When I was little, my grandmother and my mother would cook everything from scratch. Vegetables would be purchased at the market, brought home, cleaned, cut, chopped, and cooked straight away. And I never saw any of that frozen stuff that we have now. The French love to go grocery shopping, and they usually go 2 to 3 times a week to get the freshest products. My family would buy produce fresh and cook them quickly because they always wanted to give us the freshest meals possible. It wasn't rare for my mom to decide in the morning what she was going to make for lunch that day. And by the way, lunch in a French family is usually the largest meal that we have. And then in the dinner time, we have a lighter meal. Anyway, she would run down to the butcher's, pick out a nice piece of meat, and then come back up and cook it for us for that day's lunch. There's a lot less processed foods being purchased in France and served in a French family. People are very aware of the added ingredients in the items that they purchase at the grocery store, and they will actually spend a lot of time reading the labels because they like to check if there's any added sugars or if the product has been GMO modified or not. Boulangerie and pâtisserie, which is bakeries. We have incredible boulangerie and pâtisseries in France, but let's be honest, the French woman does not consume them very often. We might have it occasionally, but if we do, it's for a special occasion, a special day, or on a Sunday. And if we do, it's always in a reasonable quantity. In preparation for this video, I asked my mother when was the last time that she had eaten a croissant or a pain au chocolat from the boulangerie, and she couldn't even remember. Then I asked about a pâtisserie, and she told me that she had a really nice éclair au chocolat last Sunday because her brother came to visit and they all had Sunday lunch together. In France, yogurts help to manage our hunger. Many times we will have a yogurt with our breakfast and another one with our evening meal. It is not rare for a French woman to say that she's eaten too much for lunch and that all she's gonna have for dinner is just a yogurt. I've heard that so many times. It's very common. If you go to a French supermarket, you will actually see that we have a huge range of different dairy products that French women love. And in larger grocery stores, it's not rare for us to have 2 to 4 aisles of dairy products because French women consume them very frequently. If you take the chip or the snack aisle, it will be much smaller in comparison to our dairy aisles. The portions in France are much smaller than the portions served in other countries. And the meals that are offered in restaurants are usually healthier and lighter. For example, a restaurant that is close to office buildings oftentimes will go out of their way to offer balanced meals for their customers. The portion size is also much smaller. And if you were to purchase a sandwich from a local kiosk on the street, for example, a jambon fromage, which is the traditional ham and cheese sandwich, you would get a piece of baguette with some butter, a piece of ham, and some cheese. And that's it. There'll be no mayonnaise or ketchup or anything else added in the sandwich. And usually the French person doesn't grab a pack of chips to go with that. And oftentimes the combos that are offered in these street kiosks are for one sandwich and one drink, or one sandwich and a coffee. So let's talk about food education now. In France, we give our kids good eating habits from very early on, such as sitting down for a meal, trying everything on your plate, no sodas or sweet beverages, no sweets, no refined sugars, and no snacking between meals. Generally, you are told that you need to try a little bit of everything that is on your plate. My grandmother used to always tell me that you cannot know if you like a certain food or not until you've had the 3rd bite. That is the magic number. People in France are very aware that kids develop their eating habits and their taste buds before the age of 7 years old. So they put a lot of work into their children's food education. Children get 4 meals per day. They get breakfast, lunch, a goûter, which is a small snack before supper is served, and then dinner. Usually, only water is given to children before the age of 7. Food is a lifestyle in France. Eating is a leisurely experience. The French woman is not on a diet. She is perpetually conscious of her diet. That is the big difference. We know intuitively what is healthy and what is not, because remember, we were taught that at a very young age. French women try to have a good balance on their plate for every meal. We sit down to eat in France. Usually, the average working person gets around 1 hour for lunch every day. So we take the time to sit down and enjoy that meal, which in return lets our body know if we're full or not and if we've eaten enough. And this helps us to maintain our weight a lot more easily. We don't rush to eat, and it is really rare to see somebody walking down the street and eating quickly or even eating in their car. Food presentation is also very important in France because we believe on mange d'abord avec les yeux, which means you first eat with your eyes. Usually, French women drink their coffee black. They don't add milk, cream, sugar, or any flavored syrups of any kinds. I don't know if any of you have had any of Starbucks traditional coffees recently in France, but generally they taste like crap. Whereas when I went to Canada last summer for my brother's wedding, I was craving a Starbucks coffee, so I went in and I purchased a vanilla latte, and it was probably the best latte of my life. So go figure, why is it so bad in France and so good everywhere else? Sports. The French woman does not go to the gym as often as, let's say, American women do. But French women walk everywhere, and we are super active in our daily lives. In France, it is recommended to get at least 30 minutes of daily activity per day. And with all the walking that French women do, we get much more than 30 minutes per day. Walking is a way of life in France. And if you're walking everywhere, you're burning a lot more calories than if you're taking the car or even taking the bus. Smoking. Smoking for women has gone down in France for the year of 2019 from 23 to 20%. This may be due to the fact that it has become a crazy, super expensive habit to have, and that now in France, it's forbidden to smoke practically everywhere. In all the public places, you cannot smoke anymore. So basically, if you feel like having a cigarette, you're gonna have to smoke it at home or while you're walking down the street. Wine. People in France love wine, but not every French woman drinks wine. We may occasionally have a glass of red wine during our evening meal in the winter, or even have a nice glass of white wine or rosé for apéritif in the summertime. But if we do, it's a great quality wine. And if we have some, we have it in moderation. So in conclusion, in France, the quality of the food is exceptionally high. People eat a well-balanced diet. Food education is extremely important and engraved in us since our early age. This helps us to make the right decisions concerning food when we get older and to form good eating habits, which in return helps us to maintain and manage our weight. Most importantly, the pleasure of eating in France is essential. And we make sure to take immense pleasure when we give in to enjoying our amazing cultural decadent dishes. But when we do indulge, and let's face it, why wouldn't we balance it out straight away with a lighter meal the next time we eat. And I think that that is one of the biggest reasons why French women maintain their weight so easily. So I hope that you guys have enjoyed this video and that you were able to learn a little bit more about the French woman. If you like this type of video, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out on any of the other videos that I upload. I wish you all a beautiful day and I look forward to seeing you guys very soon. Bye everyone!